Often people ask us, which of the skills came first, as though there was any kind of order to any of it. Well, they all sort of jumbled and tumbled together. The reality is the hundreds of mothers and fathers who developed these skills wanted skills for their birth. They didn't care about anybody else's birth. So if they had had previous births, the women would often experience gaps, which if she could articulate and nitpick, we'd try to develop skills. In retrospect, fathers were simple. They didn't have skills. They told us what skills they didn't have. She complained, or she wasn't happy with me, or I touched her and I tried and she wasn't happy. It impacts relationships. What's a man? If you're a man listening to this, listen up here. If you're a woman, listen up. What is a man? He's a human being. It's as simple as that. Human beings thrive on being skilled. Now, in Udemy, the Udemy online platform, we have all the mothers-to-be and fathers-to-be pregnancy academies. Because at first, as we said, we focused on developing skills to manage and cope with labor pains because the cesarean rate was 4.5% in 1972. The cesareans then were what's called classical cesarean. A woman was cut from her pubic bone up to her navel, left an ugly scar, and it was very, very difficult to have a vaginal birth after a classical cesarean. So women started to want more. First of all, they started wearing bikinis, and women didn't want to have an ugly scar, and they wanted to try for vaginal birth or trial of labor or VBAC. So the medical profession adjusted and developed what's called the low line or bikini cut. This was a medical profession working with women to create a better type of surgical birth if it was necessary. Now, I'm not going to get into the debate, neither does our trust get into the debate about what the rise of the cesarean rate is. But we'll tell you what we think, which is a lack of skills. If we had had a societal expectation from the early 1970s until 2020, we would have 3 generations of people telling their children that they need skills. Birthing better, or what used to be called the pink kit, was an evolution of the Lamaze, the Bradley, and the Grantley-Dick Reed skills. And it was focused on all births because the families who I worked with wanted skills for their birth. So you need to understand that one of the skills we started to develop after we realized we needed to prepare the body for birth so we wouldn't have these long first or second stages, which ended up causing us to have more medical care, what's now called interventions. We couldn't have a delay in first stage or in second stage. It was as simple as that. So we were getting the coping part better. We needed to now work on the body. This is where dads were great. It's a 3-dimensional object that has to get out of a container. I want to go back to the Udemy for a minute. The Fathers and Mothers-to-be Academy and the Udemy are the skills that dads developed after we had developed the coping skills and how to prepare your body. We'd say start preparing your body at 24 weeks, and what fathers were saying, we're already left behind. So because men are human beings and human beings all thrive on being skills, guys developed the 10 skills that they needed to develop from pregnancy through the 5 phases of pregnancy. And they're all on the Udemy platform. And mothers-to-be can learn the skills that men developed. Those skills were simple skills, and they had to be used towards themselves, towards their partner, and towards their baby. Just think about it. You get pregnant. Changes everything. Between conception at 12 weeks, which is the first phase, you cannot feel your uterus grow. You do not look pregnant. You can't feel your baby move. So you have already been pregnant for 12 weeks, and that means that you don't feel terribly connected, except it's altered your life. So using patience as one skill helps a lot. If you're a woman, be patient about the fact that you're vomiting in the toilet every 5 minutes. Fathers, be patient that she no longer wants to be touched sexually. Be patient with yourself for feeling impatient. Be patient with the baby who you haven't yet met or can feel. Go to Udemy courses for the mothers and fathers to be pregnancy academies and pick the one for the phase of pregnancy that you're in now. So the body skills were really important. You can look on Google and find out what the shape of pelvises are, but the shape of the pelvis is only important in relationship to the size of the baby. And that's only important in terms of how much internal tension you have or the positions that you're in. We learned how to create space in the bony pelvis, and this is what this lesson is all about. Here's a caveat. If you're a woman listening to this, do all of the exercises on your partner first. You want your partner to feel in their body what they're trying to create in your body. And if you feel in their body, then you can help them know how to best create the space in your body. This video is the aha and the ha-ha and the wow-wow.